do you want? Are you the type who wants to play it safe and just do your thing, or are you one of those who want to be more vocal?
I mean, when I was younger, I was just, I was a teenager when I started this, so I was just, they'd ask you about like all these things and like your opinion. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even have an opinion about some of this. But as I've gotten older, I've definitely gained more of an opinion about things. I'm not afraid to be who I am. Whereas before I was like, I have to be politically correct. I can't do anything or reveal anything about me that would be offensive to anyone. I think one of those was like being a Mormon, for example. And it's like, oh, you know, so many things, you must hate these kinds of people or that, or you must have 6 wives or 6 moms. And it's like, so I'd be like, oh, just don't talk about it so that you're politically correct. But now it's like, I'm not afraid to be who I am, and that's part of who I've always been. And I think with social media, you can't really hide things about who you are in your life. So I think people are daring to be themselves more, which I think is a good thing.
Let's talk about your journey. I'm pretty sure all of us have seen you like grow up in front of the camera and probably off camera as well. So it's been a pretty good and interesting journey, to say the least. I mean, coming from an American Idol alumni, right? So my question is, from your transition from an American Idol to a real life idol, do you see yourself like being an advocate of anything, like any charity or probably mental health awareness?
I think that's great that they have that it's Mental Health Awareness Month. It's something that definitely inspired Postcards in the Sky, the new album. Dealing with, I was trying to understand my own anxiety. I was trying to understand my own issues that I had with my own like bullying or abuse and things like that. And also people who are close to me, including my family, who have depression, anxiety and schizophrenia. Things that people are like, well, I don't want to talk about that because that will make me a bad person. It doesn't make you a bad person because you didn't choose to be like that. You didn't choose to struggle with something like that. But that doesn't have to define you, like Moana says. They've stolen the heart from inside you, but this does not define you. This is not who you are. You know who you are. And even if you have to struggle with a lot of things, a lot of voices, a lot of emotions that you don't understand, I'm a big believer that there's this still small voice in us, this quiet voice that is always guiding us, that's still saying keep going. And it's hard because the other voices are louder. And a lot of people, people with opinions and even bullies, cyber bullies, they can be very loud. But even the voices inside, like saying you're not good enough, or you're dumb, you're an idiot, why even try, don't get up, there's nothing good waiting for you this day. They can be very loud. But that doesn't mean that they have to win. I think that we have to know that we can be stronger than those feelings. So I'm a big advocate for those things that we can overcome, but that it's also important to take more time to understand people that you don't understand what they're going through, like schizophrenia or a bipolar. And then I always am a big advocate of kids. So even when in the U.S. tour, I go back, next week I start another leg of my U.S. shows, and I partner with this thing called Holt International, where they sponsor kids who are orphans, or kids who they're trying to prevent kids from becoming orphans, or if they are orphans, finding homes for them, and that's a big thing for me, because kids are innocent, but they don't have a voice for themselves always, and I'm a big advocate on that for people who don't know how to speak up for themselves or don't have their own voice. So that's another cause, kids, orphans especially.